How's everybody doing today? Hey, my name is Content Analysis, and I wanted to do a YouTube channel on real talk about content, stories, articles that is of interest to the public. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can bring you more and I can go live at some point in this YouTube life of mine. Now today we have these 5 black officers. 5 black officers who beat a young black man to death. I send my condolences out to Mr. Tyre Nichols' family and friends regarding his untimely demise, because this should not have happened. This is something in law enforcement that should not have happened at all, especially when we're looking at 5 black officers who beat a young black man to death. I know a lot of people seen the news articles and the video. I mean, it's really, really sad, people. It's a sad day in America. You can see on this video right here, this picture right here, you can see the police. They have the young man on the ground. And you see where the blue arrow is? That police, he came out of nowhere and he had a baton. And if you look at his hand, he's holding his hand up in the air. The man's on the ground. He's surrounded by 3 other black officers, beating him up. And this guy comes with a baton, this officer comes with a baton and begins to beat the man while he's on the ground with the baton. You see him right there in this picture. You see him coming up. He's coming up as they're trying to restrain the young black man. And you see where the blue arrow is? That's the officer coming up. As soon as he comes up, he's going to begin to beat that young black man with a baton. I don't understand it. I really can't understand how this could happen, especially being black men in law enforcement. George Floyd was murdered by some white officers. And black people took it upon themselves. They took it upon themselves. They took it upon themselves to tear towns up left and right in protest of what the officers did to George Floyd. They went on and the Black Lives Matter organization was formed, and they went further and they started yelling, defund the police, and we don't need the police, and all of this other stuff. Police still was doing what they was doing. The people should have had a voice, and you were saying like, these white officers has got to be stopped, man. They're killing the black youth fast. They're not having no consideration. Turning around and running, shooting you. Putting you in handcuffs, they beating you. They're killing the young black men in the streets. If you look at this video, when you see where the first arrow is pointing to the young man, Tyre Nichols, you see his head is coming back. And that's because one of the officers, while his head was just clear, just hit him with a brutal punch straight to his head and sent his head back while these other officers are holding him. It's black officers, y'all. This is black officers. When you look at these officers look like they got some weight on them too. They really look like they got some weight on them. They're really looking like they got some weight on them. And there's this man, Mr. Isaiah, Uncensored, came up and he did a recording and it says, are black officers more harsh on black civilians? Are black officers more harsh on black civilians? I'm a black man. I can't say I'm a civilian because I'm capable of going this way or that way when it comes to the side of the law. But are there more harsh? Yes, they are. I don't know what's wrong, black people. Like, why do we feel it so necessary, so important to destroy one another over the simplest things? Why do we feel the need to be more harsh on one another than on other people? You can't take this event here and blame it on the white people. You can't take this event here and say the white people did it. You can't do that. This is Mr. Tyre Nichols. Look how small framed he is. He's being stopped for a traffic stop, a simple traffic stop. Not signaling 100 yards before you get to a stop sign, running a red light, license plate light off, tail lights not functioning properly, license plate not on the right car, whatever the charge was for the traffic violation. This man did not deserve death at the hands of 5 black officers. He really didn't. I'm an older gentleman, and when I was coming up, there was like white officers kicking your door and doing all this extra stuff. Like, they would knock on your door. They would just kick your door in and come in your house. If somebody ran in the building, be it they went out the back door to the backyard or ran on the roof to run down roofs and come down a fire escape and make their clean getaway, they kicked in every door in the house. And then the Black Panthers came along, and the Black Panthers started killing cops. And now, because the cops didn't know who was a Black Panther, they began to knock on your doors, and the laws began to change, and now they had to knock on your door. And today we got the laws like if they knock on your door and you don't open it, if they don't got a warrant, they can't even open your door. And a lot of the police brutality stopped. And then in the millennium, it came back fiercely. Came back like we should have been doing this to these animals, because that's what they call us, man. They want to call black people animals, man, because of the things we've done. And what these cops did to this brother was animalistic, man. So when they call you an animal, you have to look at why. Why is they calling us animals, man? Because the things we do to one another is animalistic. It's savage. When will we wake up, man? When will we realize that you got kids that's growing up, man? You got young male children that's going to grow into men. And somehow they already have a fear of every other race of people. Like, when I say fear, I don't mean they're scared of them, but they're not going to do to them other people what they do to their own. And it's got to stop somewhere, man. Yeah, those cops gonna go to jail because they've been arrested, they've been charged with killing this young man. But what's the solution to the problem? You cannot look to the government to solve the problem on black issues. You can't fight the same fight you fought with George Floyd, because those were white men that killed the black guys. So at the time, it's racism, it's prejudice, it's all of this other negative approach to a different race of people or a different cultural people to substantiate you wanting to go out and tear the town up and demolish your neighborhood and all the stores with the foreign people and with the white people and the Spanish people and the black people and the Chinese people. All these black people want to come together, and now they want to tear stuff up. But what do we do now? How do we respond to these black people, these black officers killing this young man, man? When black people came into law enforcement, I really thought that things would be different. I really thought that we would see a lot of youth in the neighborhood not getting caught up in the judicial system, catching bids for nothing, catching felonies to destroy their lives, and they will go on to become police and lawyers. And that we will begin to have somebody, a group of people of our own to police our own. That we will see when the 911 call is sent out, black officers coming to a black resident who would understand when a black person is hyper and yelling, he's still harmless. He doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean that he's going to pull out a gun and shoot at the police. There's no need to pull out your gun and shoot him and kill him. That we would see justice on the street level more fairly because we have black officers. But these black officers tend to think that they have to be more harder on black people than any other people, man. I don't think that killing a cop is justified in any situation unless that person pointing a gun at the cop. Then come on, man. If I was a cop and you pointing a gun at me, I'm gonna shoot you. If there's a robbery in progress and you go in there and you say drop the gun, and the person's holding a hostage and they're looking like they're gonna shoot him, you got an automatic. I don't know if in your automatic you got it armed and ready to fire at any given moment you want to squeeze that trigger. So if I could take the shot and drop you down, I'm going to take the shot and drop you down as a cop. But if you run from me, I'm not shooting you in your back. I remember when the cops used to have a fire warning shot before they shot you. They had to fire one shot in the air to let you know the next one is going to drop you. They don't fire warning shots no more. They just shoot you. But when I look at this Tyre Nichols situation, these black officers really showed how cruel black people can be to one another. And they use that badge to say that when I come in your black community, me being a black man, you better obey every command that I give you. You better not resist me at any point during our confrontation. If you do that, I'm going to beat you to death. And that's exactly what they did. They beat this man to death, subduing the man with punches and kicks. And one officer had to pull out a baton smack it. It came out, pow, and commenced to beating the man with that too. Me as a person, speaking on myself, that was me in Tyre Nichols' situation. I would rather have been white cops and just shot me dead, man. Shot me dead, because they're going to send them bullets at me, and them bullets going to hit me, and when the first one hit me, I'm going to feel that pain. It might hit a vital organ right there, and I'm dead already before I even hit the ground when the rest of them bullets hit me. But I'm not going through that pain of beaten to death. Could you imagine the pain this young man went through? Could you sit back and just imagine it? You get hit in your head, break your jaw, your ears pop. You know anything about when your jaw is broken, your ears pop, pow. You don't feel your jaw. It's pain, you're trying to yell. You get hit in your rib break, you bend over, more pain. You got pain in your head, you got pain in your rib, your lung collapse, you got more pain in breathing. They break your leg, you got more pain. It's so much pain going on before you die. The man calling for his mother, help me, mommy. And those black cops had not a care in the world. What's wrong with black people, man? And I'm black, I can't change it. But it saddens me. It saddens me that even if you put black people in a position of authority in the community to protect black people, it's not being done, bro. And black people is still acting like street dudes. It's no justification for street dudes to shoot each other the way they shooting each other in the black neighborhood. It's really no call for it. And the census on black people killing black people and white people killing white people is very close. It's just that black people stuff is on the media a whole lot. And let me show you. Let me just go and show you something. I just was looking at this, and even I was surprised. It's not up to date. I didn't find anything up to date. Let's look at 2020. We're in 2023. That's only 3 years away. This ain't it. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I just had it. It's right here, right here. Where is it? Where is it? It's 2016. It's 2016.
وزوجها يوصل الخبر له لكن موش كيف فانت تسمع على كل من تقريبا لكن لما الرايه يلتقطوا والحبس بس الحين كيف يلتقطوا سير الحبس ومرض السابق.
Of 13,455 cases from last year in which the FBI listed the victims' racial information, 7,039 victims, or 52.3%, were black. That compares with 5,084 cases, or 43.5%, in which the victim was white. So the blacks, the killing of blacks and the killing of white is very close in percentage rate. Okay, here go the black, white on white. Let's see what it says here.
يوم 10 مسافر إلى صوته تقول لأخوك الذي ينتبه على نفسه ويصير لك مرته يقع رجال مرته تصير هنا هيكون حتى يعني أخوها يوصلها ويقول له يعني وما تخليش يا أخي.
The margins are small, fluctuating at by less than 3% points in the last 15 years, since 2001. The share on black on black, and white on white homicides as proportion of those killed of each peak. For blacks killing blacks, the percentage is 91.9%. For whites killing whites, the percentage is 84.2%. This was in 2001. 2015, it was recorded. This was recorded for 2015. I don't know if the up-to-date census is, but we still use that sentence. The percentage of blacks killing blacks is 91.9%. The percentage of whites killing whites is 84.2%. That's less than a 10% differential. Less than a 10% differential. So at the end of the day, you cannot buy into the fact that it's the comparison with the races of attacking one another and being savage to one another is so great that they could call one an animal and one like human beings or whatever else they want to call them. You know, one an animal, one a human, one a savage, one unlike a savage. It's relatively the same, but when we look in the community, it's off the hook. And it's so much off the hook, man. It's so much off the hook that the media now has to ask our black officers more harsh on black civilians all day. I didn't watch the commentary that this guy put forth, but I don't have to watch it. I say yes, and I say it needs to stop somewhere, and I say we have to stop it. Crime and violence go together. There's nothing you can do about that unless people stop doing so much crimes. Guns and violence in a criminal hand, street guy, gangbanger, violence coming with that gun. Be it unnecessary violence or violence that they seem is necessary. It seems like every part of the violence they believe is necessary. But when we got our own black cops, going to beat one of our black kids to death. It's going too far, y'all. It's going entirely too far. It really is. And God bless the family for the justice that they shall receive behind the death of their son. God bless the police for not justifying this, and after seeing the video, immediately locking these officers up. I watched the family making comments on the news, and at one point they started talking about how fast it took for them to arrest the officers. And I don't even want to keep the video up of the brother getting beat up because it's sad, man. It's very sad, bro. And for that to happen, it really is out of hand with the way black decides to treat other black. And I've seen a picture of these officers in plain clothes, and they just look like the regular guy that hangs out on the corner, the regular guy that's out there doing gang stuff and street stuff. You know, they can blend right in, and they're police officers. You know, so when it comes to protecting the community, if that's what it was, and they want to protect grandma and great-grandfather and granddad and my own mother, you know, even though my mother's passed, but your mother, you know, they fit in well in order to go ahead in and do what they have to do. You know, you can't have a care for the criminal when the cops come. You know, you doing crime-free, this criminal guy, I'm not yelling for him. He got to get out of his situation. He got himself in there. Get yourself out. More if you had the opportunity to walk away from the nonsense that could get you locked up, and you decided that you want to keep going on, and you want to be this gangbanger, and you want to do all this extra street stuff. You want to be street while you got millions of dollars, and it don't work that way. Because once you get that $1 million, you're no longer a street guy on no level. You're going to have to put in extra work to hold that money on the corner, because somebody coming to rob you for it. You ain't going to stand on no corner every day with $1 million worth of jewelry on your neck, and I don't care who you are. Somebody's going to come get that. You might be over here from Munson Place, and you chilling on Munson Place, but there's somebody over there on James Boulevard that heard you on Munson Place, and they coming to get you, because some of them people on James Boulevard got them Munson Place niggas shook. So you stay outside. The longer you stay outside, the more the percentage of somebody coming and take your stuff from you. You're no longer a street guy. You're no longer a hood guy. You're no longer a corner guy. You're wearing $1 million of jewelry on your neck and on your arm. You got in your pocket about 100,000. This nigga over here just went and got a half an 8-ball trying to come up. This dude over here just planning on robbing the corner store to try to get him a little money. And here you come. They gonna get you. They always gonna get you. They always watching you. And if you think it's different, you're really a fool. And you're gonna go out there and you're gonna try to be in the streets and put in all that work, and you're gonna die. And if you don't die, these black officers will come and kill you. They're going to beat you to death. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Now the people said, oh, they locked them up in 20 days. I hope this sets the precedence for how long they lock an officer up when they use excessive force against somebody and it results in their death. I don't care about that. precedence for how long? Let the law create that timetable. We need to address the fact that these black officers would feel it's so necessary to do a traffic stop and see a young black man in there, and for some reason, whether he said, I don't want to get out of my car, I want to make a phone call, or why is you stopping me? You decide to drag this man out of his car, and not drag him out of his car, but beat him to death. And the coroner said the man died from beating. From being beaten. This is the saddest day in black history. This is the saddest thing to see black people. You can't look to the white people. You can't look to the Chinese people. You can't look to the Arabs. You can't look to nobody but black people in a situation. And that's where this needs to go. You talking about violence in the community, but even when you get violence and you get the black help to come in and become a cop, and yo man, patrol this, I'm becoming a cop because I'm told kill me. I'm tired of these criminal dudes hanging out on my mother's stoop and all this. They've been doing that since I'm a little kid, but yet you're gonna come out here and you're gonna act worse than them criminals, man. Them criminals is coming down the block and shooting you up. You feeling one hit of pain and you out of here. Y'all want to beat somebody to death. Black people, what's the problem? Why? Why we can't get along? Why you can't be happy for what the next man got and try to team up with him and see if you could get some of it too, without trying to take it from him, without killing him for it? Why can't you go into law enforcement as black people and just ensure that your black people don't die at the hand of officers? Black people become officers and want to prove to the white officers that we could be just as cruel or crueler than y'all on policing our black people. That is wrong on every level. What's wrong with you? Why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you feel the need to kill your own people so bad? Why? They get on the news and they say, oh, we want to make sure we putting up extra police patrol. The parents want to get up and say, please don't tear the town up. The police want to say, oh, we putting up extra patrol because we don't want them tearing the town up. We want to be able to protect people property. Why would you tear the town up now? You tore the town up because you said it was some, unequal treatment going on. You said that the white people were, cops were just killing black people. Like no questions about it. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be scared of the white cop. I've been scared of the black cops. I've been scared of the black COs. I've been scared of them. Because I always saw them do more to a black person than a white or Spanish officer ever would. I experienced police brutality only one time in my life, because when the police pulled me over, whether I'm clean or dirty, and a lot of times they pulled me over and I was dirty. And because I cut my car off, put my hands on the steering wheel, let them come to the door, didn't ask them what they stopped me for, and you give me your license, registration, insurance, pass that to them, be right back, go to the car, they come back, and then I ask them, like, where you stop me for? And sometimes I ain't even had to ask them. They say, you know what I'll stop you for? I said, nah, you want to tell me, officer? And then they tell me, and then they be polite, and they ask me if anything in the car, and this and this. I don't smoke weed in my car. I don't drink and drive. I ensure that all my equipment is working. Because when the police stop me, I want them to do whatever they got to do and just move along. I cut my car off. so they don't have the fear of me taking off. I even got caught dirty sometimes, and the police let me go. I remember I got caught in Virginia without a license and dirty. They gave me like 4 tickets and let me drive home to New York. Really talk. I had 2 girls in my car that didn't have license. My sister and my girl. My girl didn't have a license. She didn't even have an ID on her. My sister, her eyesight is bad, so she couldn't drive at all. She didn't have a license. And the officer let me go and let me drive home with no license. And one time I got caught with a gun in my car. And as the police were holding me and handcuffed me, and they were holding me against the side of the car, and they had the gun already, and they were searching the car to see what else they could find. One little midget officer just walked up to me, walked up to the officers, and he said, "What's this guy's situation?" And they said, he got a gun loaded. And that officer walked up to me and punched me in my face while I was handcuffed. I had some steel-toe boots on. I kicked him in his nuts and commenced to keep on kicking him, and they beat the shit out of me and dragged me in the car, and I was still kicking them. Then they pull out they didn't have them batons there, they had them sticks then. And then they pulled out them sticks and act like they wanted to get at me and fight me with them. And I cooled down, you know what I mean, because I didn't want to be beat anymore badly, but I finished that officer. I kicked him in his nuts and he was done with the fight. And they really couldn't say nothing because he just walked up and punched me. And that's the only time I really experienced police brutality and use of force that was uncalled for. But at the end of the day, man, I'm sad for this brother. I really am, man. I'm sad that this happened. And black people, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know how we began. I don't know how we began to build ourselves up and make ourselves better in our community and build our communities up. But I know that it's gone too fast. I know it's gone too far for too long. And at some point we have to start thinking, man, could we love one another? Could we appreciate one another? Could we build up one another? Could we stop being so quick to destroy one another? We want to fight everybody, every other group of persons, every other group of people. But we don't want to fight with ourselves to correct ourselves. We want to worry about some white man calling us a nigger and go take 5 men and beat 1 man to death. We want to worry about white cops shooting us all in the back. But this guy down the block, your own black brother, got mad at you and said your mother's a bitch, and you shot him in his face. I don't even one ain't justified, but you broke the law and brought the attention of that officer on you. You had an argument with this guy. No law is broken, nothing real serious you done. Just because he said your mother's a bitch, you shot him in his face and killed him. Why? I'm not no better. I'm not no better. I'm not saying I'm better, because I sent somebody to the make of my own people. They tried to rob me and I finished them. And I terrorized my community too. And at this age, I feel bad about it. I really do. I don't never want to do it again. I really don't. So if you feel remorse for the things that you do to your people, sometimes you might want to stop. And if enough people feel remorse, then we could come together and we could try to figure this out. Because it trickles outside. You're tearing each other's down. Your neighborhood's looking bad. It all, you toe up in the inside. So everything outside going to be toe up. You can't stand as a man. You're living off your girl. You're living off your mother. You get all this money. You've been getting millions since you've been 13 years old. And you're still living with somebody. And you still can't properly raise your kid. You don't even know how to put money away for him for his older age in case you get broke. And that kid's going to grow up in the same vicious cycle of tearing up his own. Is that why we tear up each other? Because we're mad at ourselves. And when I look at his black ass, he's just as black as me, so I hate him because that's me. And I'm sorry, so he got to be sorry. This should be the wake-up call. Because when you're black and you become law enforcement and you want to hear all this thing about the protest from George Floyd, and you want to defund the police, and you want to fight against the police, and you want to come and say, well, like all police ain't bad, and then you want to go beat your own peer, because that's your peer, your cultural peer. You want to beat your own peer to death. Sometimes when I was in the court system, a lot of people would say, ain't no black people on that jury, but I swear to God, bro, I beat a trial before and it was all white people on that jury, and I swear I didn't want no black people in there. Because I always felt that a whole black panel will find me more guilty faster than the white people. Yeah, he did it. That's what they going in and saying. Yeah, he did it. I used to go in the courtroom and see all those white lawyers and foreign lawyers, and I said, damn, man, we need some black lawyers. And then when I started sitting in that cell and thinking, I'm like, damn, man, I wonder if we had black lawyers, would he really defend me good? Or would he want double the amount of money I got to pay the white lawyer in order to try to effectively defend me? What's going to happen to these black officers is going to happen to these black officers. The family will be compensated for the death because they were police officers. So they will get that civil suit going. But is that money worth the life of their son? And these black officers, they're going to get their prison time. They're going to live. They're going to live. And they're going to do their prison time if it's in God's plan, and they're going to come home. But Mr. and Mrs. Nichols, their son ain't coming home. They give him $14 million. Their son ain't coming home. That's blood money. That's blood money they're going to get. That's money because of the death of their son, which I'm sure they'd rather have that money if their son was living. But you can't blame it on nobody but black people mentality today, man. That black people just think that they gotta just kill one another, man. I gotta get rid of my black brother, man. I ain't billing with him. I ain't chilling with him. I'm killing him. He got that jewelry. He think he big because he just got a record deal. I'm killing him. Why? Now, George Floyd died, and it was a rally against the white officers, against the establishment, because these white officers were killing these black youth with not a second thought. They put up all these morals of Mr. Floyd. They put up banners. Black Lives Matter came and tore stuff up behind his name. What are y'all gonna do for Mr. Nichols? What is gonna be y'all rally call for this guy right here? What are y'all gonna change because of this guy's death right here? How y'all gonna make the family feel good about this here guy's death right here? Because the George Floyd family gotta feel good. A lot changed because of his death. A lot of things fought because of his death. The police were defunded because of his death. What's gonna be the rallying cry behind the death of Mr. Tyre Nichols? Y'all holler at your boy and tell me that. I don't hear no content creators saying what we got to do, how we got to change this, what's this and what's that. What is the rally call for change as a result of these 5 black officers killing this young black man? Please tell me that. Please put that in your content. All you YouTubers, because I don't got all of them subscribers. I don't got all of them views. That's who got. It's like my second YouTube video. What y'all gonna do? Y'all can't go tear the town up. Like that would be just ridiculous. Like, you gonna tear the town up because of black on black crime? Because that's what this is. Black on black crime on a community security level. That's how far it went. From the street level, from the house level, the home level, to the street level, to the community security level. Because that's what a cop is, community security. I feel sad for this family. I send my condolences and my heart bleeds for Mr. and Mrs. Nichols. When I see them and talking, my heart pains for them. Because I wasn't a black officer, but I was that guy. I really was. And today I have remorse. I don't want to do it. If I could avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. But my mind is still asking me, like, what's going to happen now? What kind of change is going to be made now? You can't fight the white people, the Arab store, the white businesses. You can't fight them because these black officers killed this black kid. And black people don't got enough businesses unless you go tear down the record companies. That's the only thing you could do. I mean, to be effective. You know, hey, the black man crew, they got more black people in business in the record company. We're going to go tear their record companies up. That's the only thing you can do if you want to destroy businesses, to make a statement about these black officers killing this black man unfairly, beating him to death. Y'all remember Tyre Nichols? Y'all start parading against the black on black crime, and y'all put him, make him the poster child. Y'all made George Floyd the poster child when he got killed by white cops. What are y'all going to do to uphold Tyre Nichols' name in the name of justice against black officers harshly treating black civilians? That's all I got to say on this. I hope I get people to view this. If you feel I say something wrong, hit me in my email at contentanalysis790@gmail.com. And please subscribe. Subscribe to me so I can go live and I can really talk to you. Whoever sat and listened to this, walked around and listened to this, drove their car and listened to this, I thank you very much. Let's stop killing our own, man. Let's slow that down, man. Let's build our own, man. We are powerful, man. Everybody mimic a lot of things we do. And still, we don't even respect that and see that and better ourselves and do more and be more. We still want people to call us savages and say the worst things about us. And they're no better than us. They're no better than us. I just showed you the statistics. There's a 10% difference in blacks killing black and whites killing white. It's not that far away. It's not 90%, 40%. It's 91%, 85%, 86%. That's the 2001 statistics. I ain't found the 2023 yet. I wasn't looking that far, really. I'm sure it's out there. You find it. You go further. You tell me what it is. You email me at contentandknowledge790@gmail.com. You subscribe. You comment. Each one teach one. And because we don't teach one, we kill one. And when our community security who's black like us want to beat us to death, we got a problem, Houston. We got a problem, Tennessee. We got a problem, LA. And it's bigger than your little rap beef because he got more jewelry than, oh, he didn't sign with me. It's bigger than that, bro. It's bigger than that when you can make it out your neighborhood and can't go back. It's bigger than that when you make it in Tennessee and got to move to LA. And then you ain't even safe in LA with the black community. It's bigger than that when black people got to check in and none of them white people coming and doing shows in People Town don't got to check in. When Chinese people come and do some stuff in their town, they don't got to check in. It's bigger than that. And we cannot see how fucked up it is until today when these black officers beat this man to death. Beat him to death. Wake up or stay asleep. Walk with your head on a swivel. Guard yourself. The black nigga gonna come kill you. Be him the cop or your neighbor or your homeboy that you grew up with. When does it stop? Y'all have a nice night and I'm out of here. Content analysis. Thank you for listening to me.